When a parent dies, when you lose a parent. Hello, y'all. I'm Diana Brienne. Well, I don't know if I've ever talked about this subject before, but I thought I would talk about it. And I don't give advice or suggestions or anything like that, but I do share with you my perspective on different topics. You know, about 14 years ago, my mom passed on, and about a few years prior to that, my dad had passed. And so I know what it's like to lose someone that you love and what it's like to lose a parent. And so I thought I'd come on here and just give you my perspective on what I went through and how I dealt with it. I was very, very close with my mother. My father and I, my mother and father had divorced when I was young, so it wasn't until later that I reestablished a relationship with him, and it was a good relationship. It was a solid relationship later on. But when my mom died, we had been so close, and it was, you know, I still dream about her to this very day. You know, probably most nights she appears in my dreams, and I miss my mom. And yet, you know, life goes on, you move on, and that's just part of life. And but I will tell you, while my mom was alive, towards the end of her life, I was her caregiver for the last maybe 3 years of her life. And prior to that, my mom was always a very independent, very strong, wonderful, wonderful, amazing woman. And so losing my mom, I really lost so much. And I'm so glad I cherished my mom while she was alive. And I see a lot of people that are not respectful to their parents, or they're disrespectful, or they're very lax when it comes to, you know, just, you know, with their parents. And so for me, I really, that wasn't my issue. I was very close to my mom. Even when we lived in Europe and phone rates were very, very high, my mom and I found ways to fax each other. Like, we'd write each other a handwritten letter and we'd fax it because it was only 1 minute of phone time. And we do that 3 or 4 times a day, you know. And then when we got the rates down a little bit, we would talk, you know, for a few minutes every night. And then when I got back to the States, of course, we talked every night. And then by then, email came about, and we would email back and forth. So my mom and I had a really, really close relationship. And so it was a huge loss when I lost my mom. And so I think a lot of times people don't appreciate their parents until they're gone. And then they go, oh, I wish I would have treated my parents so much better, and how amazing my parents were. You know, it's easy to take parents for granted because, well, they've always been there and they've always just automatically done the stuff for you or for their children most of the time, most parents, I think. And I know that there's exceptions to the rule, but I think for the most part, most parents love their children and care about their children. They may not always be perfect parents, but I think most parents come from a good perspective and they want the best for their children. And so I believe that while your parents are alive, cherish your parents, cherish your relationship with them, let them know how thankful you are. You know, whenever I hear a speech, someone giving a thank you speech, my ears kind of perk up to hear, are they going to thank their parents? You know, they thank their grade school teacher, they thank their plumber, they thank their next door neighbor, but often they forget to thank their mom and dad. And I think that's probably one of the first people that, you know, grown adult kids should thank. And, you know, thank you, mom, and thank you, dad, for being there for me. And, you know, moms and dads usually are the ones that, you know, will get up in the middle of the night and come get you when your car's broke down or something like that. So my perspective is that it's, you know, it can be very challenging and difficult. Life does go on after the loss of a parent, but they're always and forever in our hearts and in our memories. And like I said, especially in our hearts. When you love somebody, they always stay a part of who you are. And as is with a mom or a dad. Okay, well, from my house to yours, may God bless you. I hope you like, share, subscribe, and I hope to talk to you soon again. Bye-bye.